Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Hazrat Sahib.
Yes.
Having compassion on the creation, a practical example that's in my mind is if somebody robs you, for example, you have your land, it's yours, and somebody else robs that, do you then forgive them as compassion on the creation, but then does that maybe leave them to go and do that to other people, or do you take the full strength what you have to take that off them?
Right. You see, being compassionate upon the creation, meaning is giving them more than what they deserve, and rights, the poor, the needy, being. Now, if someone has possessed your land, you have every right to take it back. Sometimes compassion is to take it back from him, because he will become sinful, as you're saying, so he will go to others, do it as well. But if taking that back, actually, after you tried lawfully, now you have to employ unlawful means to take that, but that is when you should leave it. So go up to the extent where you can lawfully, legally, if you want, take it back. But where, for example, now killing and infighting and over land and destruction will start, or unlawful means will start coming in, at that time it is actually advisable to leave it there. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sahib, through your speech, there are realization in my mind and in my thoughts. You mentioned the two aspects of one aspect of the physical, and the other one spiritual.
Yes.
I have short life, and some of it actually I lived in Pakistan and the rest in this country. In my personal experience, this spiritual life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I have not experienced or seen in Pakistan being practiced. Nor have I seen, because my biggest part of the life spent here, nor have I seen being practiced here. So it is actually absolutely frightening to realize that we are actually suffering within. And this opening and this realization of the second dimension of spiritual world how can we educate and how bring this about? Number one, actually, the fear or challenge. The other challenge is that with the system that we Muslim live specifically in this country and to the broader Muslim world is also not taught. So that's another very big challenge to Muslim Ummah in my thoughts, though I cannot do anything about it. And the third thing, which is even more frightening, that you brought to our thoughts, is the punishment and the cruelty which is done by, as you said, fraudulent peers, and the barriers they have created for the entire Muslim Ummah to realize the blessing of Rasul Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to us. So I personally feel very humble.
MashaAllah, what you have said, I agree totally with what you have said, that it is really an eye-opener for some people because they've never been taught, they've never been in this field or any as such actually to level, which is, this is the barakah and the teachings of the Shadliya Mashayikh, which the credit goes to Shaykh Abdul Aziz Dabbagh, Shaykh Abul Hasan Shazali, Shaykh Abul Abbas al-Mursi, these high-ranking scholars and awliya who systemized the path, who actually made it such way that it becomes easier for us to understand. Although it is known from centuries that awliya Allah exist, they have miracle, the spiritual path. Even now, non-Muslims are aware of Sufism, they have attraction as well. But what it is actually how to achieve, somehow the whirling Darwesh is Sufi for them, who have nothing to do with Sufism. Nothing to do with Sufism, even from the furthest part. Or actually, this is Sufism to, people jumping about and they are nothing. Sufism, the Sufiya, was actually this aspect, meaning following, being closer to Rasulullah physically and the spiritual sense. So yes, if it is an eye-opening, for me it was when I learned, for many people searched for centuries, why Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani searched so much? Why Hazrat Sultan Bahu searched so much? Shaykh Abdul Aziz Dabbagh for 12 years. Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani from leaving his mother, coming to Baghdad in search of this path to learn. And actually other awliya, meaning this have to be, now it is in this world, now you are getting on a piece of, it's like a piece of cake on a plate, because these mashayikh have made it so much. And today, sometimes situation, if anyone knows anything secret, chota mota dam hi kisi ko pata ho, that how to heal someone or have little bit, a weird thing or whatever, he doesn't teach the other one. He said, I will miss. And most of this is fraud sometimes and techniques. Some people are using, manipulating people in different ways. But if they know little bit, they keep it to themselves, take it in the grave. But real awliya Allah, they are generous people. They want to share. They want to equip people. They are there because they are commanded or they are bound to be there as a Sharia's kalam, that they should be advising people. Otherwise, they don't like to be living in people, and even they don't like to be known even. Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullah alayhi said, if I was not commanded by Allah and His Messenger, oh people of Baghdad, you would have never seen me here. I would have never lived in any city more than 3 days. All my life I had decided I will be wandering from one city to the other, so no one knows who is Abdul Qadir, and no Abdul Qadir wants to know anyone else except Allah and His Messenger. But His destiny has brought me here, the command of Allah, because Rasulullah said to him when he was in the jungle and the desert that you go to Baghdad and actually call people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he attained. And when these type of people come, they free millions from the shackles of shaitan, because they're speaking with truth, they're speaking with experience. So yes, it is an eye-opener. It is frightening to discover that you are now almost 60 or so, that, oh, this is my discovering. But inshallah, there is no disparity, hopelessness. Person can achieve in a short while, inshallah, what person have been missing. Like many of these Sahabas, Rizwan Ajmain, they came Muslim when they were in 40, some were 50, some were 60, and they achieved. And second thing which you said, that what can you do to educate others? First thing is, you go through the path yourself. Experience it for yourself, because you have to be convinced first of the truth. Then you can guide, educate others. Yes, brothers, sisters, come to it. Because all people are in search of this really. Even people who are dancing in the discos or in clubs or drinking alcohol, they are in search of peace. And peace comes through this path only. But they don't know, no one shown them so they only know the club, so they will go and jump about and feel little bit of peace. Some take drugs, little bit of peace. Some commit zina, they feel. But after that they feel abandoned, they feel the wahsha, the restlessness is there. But after all, they are after peace and happiness. If it can be conveyed and communicated that here is the peace, and no one will look at that. But as you said also rightly, that even many fraudulent, like false scholars, like they were false prophets, they are false, actually, fraudulent scholars, they themselves are becoming a barrier as well. Because they made a joke out of someone not following Sharia, some are even playing with the honor of the women, meeting them and getting a massage from them, and actually saying they are my daughters and this is that and that, and all sorts of this thing, and just are on a money-making mission actually, and doing one or two majlis in the year or here, and not taking people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but rather taking the possession, the money, the thing and everything, and saying, I will give you this, I will give you this, and I will pray. And amils, these spiritual witch doctors, which you see on the TV, on the news, or the problem solvers, actually, I have jinnat, I know about your future, the stars are saying this, your hand is saying this. All these are really fraudulent, and many peers, fraudulent peers as well, who are not following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, they are a big barrier, because their product is selling, their fake product, because the real product is not in the market so readily available. When the real product is available, the fake people will stop buying themselves. But so for that, you need to follow the path yourself, reaching, and as I say, it doesn't take very long, 1 to 2 years, and then actually guiding others as much as you can. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ballighu anni walau aya," that convey from me, even if it is one verse, if one hadith, one sentence, or if you know the path, you invite. And they keep us down, to reach this stage of kashf for actually spiritual ascension, or 40 years you have to stand on one leg, and in a for example river, and you have to do lot of mujahada like that, or sit in the grave. I mentioned with the story yesterday. I met in Medina a person. He said, I am peer myself, I am scholar myself, but I am search, I have not found. I said, tell me a little bit about your search. He said, yes, I was in search, and one person came to our village, and I said to him, I want to control the nafs. He said, well, to control the nafs, you will have to do a 40-day exercise in the graveyard, sitting in the graveyard and 2 hours reading, and wear coffin, ihram, like coffin, white cloths, and 40. He didn't tell them aqidah, belief, or dhikr, or anything. These type of weird things. So he said, I was in search, I was seeker of truth, so I said, okay, I will do. So he still lives, mashallah, and he said that I went for there was about 15, 16 days, nights from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. I was sitting in the grave. He said, in our locality, people are the rural area, agriculture. At night time, they water their fields, in the agricultural lands. The rivers come, and from there water is brought into the fields to actually irrigation. So he said, sometime in our area there were many 2-3 cases in that time, in those days, cases of robberies in different villages. So I was doing ibadah and worship, what this sheikh told me, and